Alright, in this video, guys, what we'll be talking about is going to be the recent rumors going around that Red Bull could be going all in on a certain driver. But is this really the time for Red Bull to be going in on a certain driver when what they did to Sergio Perez in Brazil was completely unnecessary? It's Red Bull, so I'm not very shocked. And Red Bull are gonna want to give themselves a partnership that can rival the partnership of seven-time world champion Lewis Hamilton and George Russell, who looks like he could become a future world champion in that Mercedes team. And now Mercedes have signed Mick Schumacher to be the reserve driver. Mercedes are signing for their future, and their future looks good. So who is this driver that Red Bull have been talking about in the past couple of months? Well, this driver recently signed a new contract extension to 2025, and it's going to take a lot for him to get away from the team that he is currently. This driver hails from the United Kingdom. He drives the number 4 McLaren Formula One car, and from McLaren Formula One team, we are talking about Lando Norris. Lando Norris has been the recent subject of recent rumors going around that Red Bull could be going in all in for him because Lando has a ton of potential that has been unrealized because McLaren have not come through on what they promised and said that they will be able to deliver him a race-winning car. He has yet to win his first race. Meanwhile, his former teammate Daniel Ricciardo has won a race already, as he won in Monza in 2021. And McLaren now have I'd probably say at least 2 years to give Lando Norris a chance at the McLaren winning car, because there's going to be a certain point where Lando Norris is going to just get very frustrated with the fact that he's not in the car that can give him wins, and he's going to look at the Red Bull offer and say, this team is winning races, this team is winning world championships, I can be competing, I think I'm better than Sergio Perez, I can give Max Verstappen a good running, and who knows, Lando Norris may be actually the guy that can give Max Verstappen a good run for his money. And looking at the way Lando Norris has performed in the past, considering he's had a car that's not capable of giving him wins, and where he's finished and helped McLaren throughout the season, there's a very good chance that Lando Norris could give Max Verstappen a good run for his money because it's Lando Norris. And he seems to be a driver that can get the most out of the car. I mean, look at where he finished in the driver's standings compared to where Daniel Ricciardo finished in the driver's standings. It's just two completely different things. So Lando Norris being linked with Red Bull seems to be interesting. In my honest opinion, I think that this will probably happen. Remember, he drives for McLaren. Who do McLaren get their engine from? Do you really think that Mercedes would let a driver like Lando Norris go to Red Bull? Considering he's technically a part of the Mercedes team because he's at a team that gets the Mercedes engine, and a lot of the reasons why McLaren was so competitive for him this season is due down to that Mercedes engine. So I highly doubt that Mercedes would just let Lando Norris leave early out of his McLaren contract to head to a rival team. This is why I think that this is being planned for the future. I think that Mercedes, instead of going for a German car and a German team, I feel that Mick Schumacher is going to be waiting until Audi comes into the sport. And what does that mean for the 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes? Well, Lewis Hamilton has said that he wants to stay in Mercedes for as long as he continues racing. I don't really see that happening. I think Lewis Hamilton has at least 3 to 4 years left before I think he truly retires. And if he does retire within the next 3 years, that would happen in 2025. And that would be the final year of Lando Norris' contract. So yes, I'm going to say this right now. I think Lando Norris stays in McLaren for at least 2 seasons, and then Lando Norris will join up with his fellow Brits, George Russell, to complete an all-British drivers in Mercedes. Yes, I think that Lando Norris will be joining Mercedes in the coming future. Because I got to look at this. Yes, there's been a lot of rumors that Lando Norris could be going to Red Bull. Red Bull could go all in for him. But Red Bull are also going in for a competition driver, and considering that what Red Bull's done in the past and what Red Bull's cost Mercedes, I highly doubt that Mercedes is going to just let this happen, considering this is one of the teams that Mercedes supplies their engine to, and it's a possible future replacement for Lewis Hamilton. Because right now, Mercedes are looking at an all British front row, an all British lineup when it comes to the Mercedes team, and they have the potential to get two very good young British drivers that will probably have the backing of Lewis Hamilton if Mercedes really want to go for the move, because Mercedes and Lewis Hamilton have such a great relationship. Because even when Lewis Hamilton started, it was McLaren Mercedes, so why not when Lando Norris fully gets the opportunity and gets better when it comes to being the McLaren, and hopefully McLaren can give him race-winning cars, then he may get tired of being McLaren and he may want to step up, and that'll be the perfect time for Mercedes to say, hey Lewis, I know you've been with us for so long, but we think that we should go to the future and we want to go after Lando Norris. Lewis is going to be like, okay, I can respect that, or he's probably going to be like, okay, I see the talent in Lando Norris. I think this is a very good move for you, and I think that Lando Norris at the end of 2025 or possibly even at the end of 2024 will be a Mercedes F1 driver for the Mercedes AMG Petronas team.